another week. We're doing the Google Analytics Academy. Excuse me. For those of you that are new this week, we're doing this in conjunction with the Google Ecommerce Analytics Academy, and just kind of to help maybe break it down a little bit and help you to get through the class and learn a little bit while you do. Your host, that is me. I am Shauna Siegel. I am the CEO of One Choice for Your Store. And if you have questions, feel free to use the questions box that you have. We will try to get through all questions, and all questions that are asked are answered privately, so please do not hesitate to ask whatsoever. And if you want to connect on Twitter, my name there is Shauna Siegel, and on Facebook.com, Shauna Siegel as well. And we have a lot of new people, and I love telling people my story of how I got started, because I think a lot of you can definitely relate. So I started my first online store as a single mom, and I had 2 boys, and I wish I could tell you I was the picture-perfect mom, but I really wasn't. This was me pulling out my hair in my jammies, and I still do it today. It used to be that I had kids in the background that were always like going off, but now it's dogs. So what I'm doing now is I founded One Choice for Your Store, which I love this business. I'm a Yahoo Small Business Partner, and I love everything having to do with education, especially SEO and Yahoo stores. Some of the education that we have, of course, is today we have the e-commerce analytics. Tomorrow we have group coaching where we're talking about social media marketing for e-commerce. On Thursdays we have our Yahoo store class, and this Thursday starts our HTML and CSS class. This will be our second HTML and CSS class that we're teaching. It's absolutely awesome for e-commerce site owners. And the great thing about it is if you have employees or family members that you want to take this class with you, you absolutely can. And also, you're allowed to join all future HTML and CSS classes that come up. Absolutely. We also have upcoming on August 5th, we're going to be starting an HTML class. And then on September 9th, we're going to start JavaScript and jQuery. I would highly recommend taking HTML and CSS first. It will definitely help you. We are starting it September 9th, so that way if you are in the brand new HTML and CSS class, you will have some time ahead of that so that you can get into the JavaScript. I also recommend that you do get into the HTML and CSS class for the RTML class as well. It will help make things a lot better. All right, so I like going over this information, and I like going over this information a lot because, you know, our brain has to hear or see things 3 times before it really sticks. So the more that we can see this, the better off that you're going to be. So the goal when people are searching is to match the expectation, match the intent, so we can increase conversions. And by understanding our analytics and what's going on when people come to our site, we can help do that. And the biggest reason why we want to do that is because if we don't focus on conversions, we can lose traffic, we can lose our organic rankings, and we can lose sales. Now, a lot of people think, well, why would I lose my rankings? So let's say that I sent you 100 people, and 100 people came back to me and said, you know, that person you sent me to was not good. I had a bad feeling. I went out right away. They didn't answer my questions, so I left. There was nobody to help me, so I left. So if that kept happening, what would I do? I would say, you know what? Then I'm going to recommend somebody else, because I want to recommend you to the best possible thing or person that will help you. And that's what's going on with Google. They can tell when people have found what they were looking for. Have you ever done a search for something that you're not buying? Let's say that you saw something on TV and you're like, wait a minute, what year did that come out? And you go do a search. What year did this movie come out? You find your answer and you're done. The search ends. But What if you go to the first website and it doesn't have what you're looking for your question? You click the back button, you go to the next site, and you keep doing that till you find your answer. Google can see that going on. So they can tell if the person has, found everything that they were looking for or what happened. What was the best result for them? So the biggest thing that happens, though, is your competitor starts ranking higher and higher, and they start purchasing from your competitors. So what we need to do is always provide a clear path for our customers. We want to look at awareness and attention. We want to get them interested in our product so much so that it creates desire, so that they create a decision and take action. And by using your analytics, you can help to build the awareness, build the interest, build the desire, and build the action. So for our class, it is a 4-week up class. Last week we had setup. Week 2, which is this week, we're doing introduction to the e-commerce analysts. And next week we'll be doing understanding customers, and the following week understanding shopping behaviors. Now you can go to our blog, and I will provide the URL for you guys at the very end, and you can download not only last week's presentation, but also I've started up the replay for this week's, which it's blog.onechoiceforyourstore.com, blog.onechoiceforyourstore.com. If you forget, just click on One Choice for Your Store and you'll be able to hit our blog. And you can download the presentation file that I'm going to be using this week. Everything is basically from the class, but it's just to kind of help you go over it a little bit more, and I think that you'll find that it's very helpful. So if you want to follow along with that, there's some great links that you're going to need as well. So really, this course is designed to help e-commerce businesses make informed decisions based upon Google Analytics data. So we're going to review various reports, and we want to really understand more about customer acquisition and user behavior and conversions. We're also going to look at how do you interpret reports? How do you dig deeper into the data? How do you take actions that are ultimately going to improve your data? So when we look at this, we realize that good analytics data begins with designing a measurement plan that identifies basically your company's business objectives. What are you looking to accomplish? Are you looking to get people to purchase more products? Are you looking to get people to sign up for a newsletter? Are you trying to get people to sign up for some type of membership? Whatever it may be, you have to understand what the business objectives are. You also have to look at what are the strategies and tactics that support those objectives. You also want to look at what's called KPIs. KPIs are known as key performance indicators. And these kind of things we'll go into a little bit more, but sometimes that is the conversion rate, or sometimes it's the conversion to the next phase of the process. The other thing that really good analytics will help you with is segmenting to understand what drives success. So in other words, if your traffic is coming from organic search, do those outperform those that are coming in for pay-per-click? It's really important to understand that. And the other thing is good analytics data targets for each KPI to understand if the business is reaching their goals. Now, for the analytics class with the Google Academy, and of course you'll have all the links afterwards, but there's this really wonderful thing that they created, and it goes through basically these are our business objectives. Okay, we want to promote customers' appreciation of outdoor activity through the acquisition of camping and sporting goods. And our strategy is to sell high-quality camping and sporting equipment that helps customers be comfortable in the outdoors. So that's our strategy. So we're going to look at the strategy that talks about web tactic, basically selling via the website. So we have this store, it's the Great Outdoors, and basically they sell the camping and sporting equipment, okay? Each tactic uses key performance indicators, which are metrics that they're using. The KPIs that they're using is basically revenue, how much total money the company is making from selling these camping and sporting goods. The other thing it looks at is what is the average order value for each order submitted. And the other thing we want to look at is membership sign up. You know, they have weekly deals and discounts on shipping, so that's another performance metrics that they want to look at. And then the other thing that they want to look at is revenue versus customer of average revenue generated per customer. So for each customer, how much revenue can we expect to have? Now, this is great information that we want to have. Not everybody has this kind of information. It's really difficult to come across this when you're just getting started. But after you've been in business a while, you've got some great traffic, you've got some great orders, you need to start looking at these important key performance indicators, KPI, key performance indicators. So what they've done is they've got it segmented into basically product category, okay? So we can segment by the product categories to measure how we sell specific product categories, and then also how do individual products perform. The other thing we want to look at is traffic sources, because we can segment different like product categories to measure how well these categories and individual products perform, and also the customer type. We can segment by traffic sources to measure how well our marketing campaigns are performing. And that would be like, okay, we've got from BizRate, this is the traffic resource. We've got from Google Shopping, this is the this is what the traffic sources are producing. Google Natural Search, Google AdWords, whatever the case may be. These are different things that we want to segment. And how we monitor is basically we need to start with a high-level daily overview dashboard or even a custom report in Google Analytics. And that dashboard has all the KPIs defined in the measurement plan, and really it's a way to kind of monitor the daily health of the business. Now, I will give you one little piece of advice here. I see people that are looking at their analytics sometimes on an hourly basis. And let me tell you, you can drive yourself mad. And one of the things you want to look at is throughout your business, as you know, you have ups, downs, up, downs, up, downs. You'll have those days where you get no orders and then you start to freak out. But if you go back and look at your history, you'll see that this is a part of your history. If you're generally moving up, then that's where we want to be. But a quick dashboard can really help us to spot kind of anything kind of off that we should definitely investigate and see if we need to do kind of a correction here. Now, when you're working with these dashboards, it's kind of interesting that like in a large organization like the Great Outdoors, the store that Google is using as our examples, each level and job function has a different dashboard to monitor specific parts of the business. So a CEO will overlook all the revenue and the traffic and the top geographic areas, whereas a marketing director requires more segmentation of the data. And so a CEO's dashboard may look something like this, whereas the marketing dashboard, they've got a more tactical role. So this really does require more segmentation. So there might be the same KPIs as the CEO, but they've got some custom reports with segmentation by traffic channel, landing pages, product categories. This provides the marketing director insight of the daily health of the marketing efforts. Now, a lot of people are the CEO and marketing all at once. We know this. So I highly suggest that after the end of class, go through and visit the Analytics Solutions Gallery. absolutely highly recommend, because you can go through there and make sure that you're clicking e-commerce, and you can find some really great, like, great ones that have already been made, and makes it so much easier for you to build up these kind of different dashboards. And I think that you'll find a lot of really great information inside of here. And what we're going to do is next week we're going to actually install a couple of these into the Google Analytics. I want to give you guys a chance to go in and kind of play with it a little bit before we go into the analytics next week to kind of apply this. Now, where do you find this? Great question. There is an analytics solution gallery, and I believe towards the end I have a slide that has all of that information inside of it. If not, I will definitely add it to the blog post. Let me just kind of mark that down, that I want to add the link, and I'll do that as soon as it's over, so that way you guys can finish up with this, and we'll get it all set up before we even leave, so that way you guys know where to go. And it is a lot of fun going inside of there, so I do highly recommend it. All right, let's keep going. Let's go from here. Okay. And if I forget, remind me at the end. All right, so here's a little bit of preparation that you're going to want to know right off the bat, okay? Sometimes the numbers are not going to align with what you expect. Other things that will happen is maybe you're using Yahoo Analytics and it doesn't match up with that. What we have found is that no analytics program is absolutely perfect. It just isn't. So really what you want to focus on are trends. Trends are really where you want to focus your, if somebody says you've got 15 hits on this page and another one says 10, and the rest of your pages are over 100, it doesn't matter if it's 10 or 15, you've got a problem. That's a trend. Okay? Now, when it doesn't meet your expectation, though, you can use some different analytic features to kind of dig into the data. And the main thing that you want to do is really understand what caused the results to change. And one of the most important tools that you'll need to know is really like an in-depth analysis of segmentation. And segmentation is really going to help you quite a bit. So as I said, this is like one of the most important tools that you can absolutely use. When you apply a segment, basically you're filtering data in real time. Segmentation allows you to isolate and compare analytics data, so really you can see which segments might be performing better. Here's an idea. You have a newsletter, and you put out this newsletter, you have people landing on this newsletter page, and you want to know, all right, does this equal sales? Are people going in from sales? This is one way that you could actually do a segmentation. There's actually multiple ways that you can do it, and the class will go into a couple more details for you on that. And one of the things that you can look at is you can actually segment between users and sessions. So if you segment users, okay, basically you're scanning multiple sessions within the data range that you're looking at. And then you can look at, okay, what are the goals that the users completed? You can look at all the revenue generated by a user. Here's another example. Let's say that users who made a purchase, you want to compare to users who didn't make a purchase. What happened? This is going to help you to better understand what influences people to buy. Where did you get them? Where did you not get them? Now, when segmenting sessions, okay? Usually the data is confined to the user behavior within a single session. That's important to understand. A single session is, I come into your site and what do I do then? That's different, because what if I leave your site for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and I come back, okay? So when you're looking at sessions, okay, you want the goals that the user completed during that session. You're also wanting to know the amount of revenue generated by the user during that particular session. So a great example of this is you could segment sessions based on the traffic source. So whether it's paid search versus email campaigns. So as far as using segments, both user and session segments can be built using dimensions, metrics, session dates, and even a sequence of user actions. And look at the report like an audience overview, okay? Audience overview. And I apologize, I'm grabbing a quick drink. Whew. Typically, all session segment is already applied and will include every session within the date that you have. And you can add additional segments. All you have to do is click the gray arrow to open up the segment builder. Now again, you'll see a list of commonly used segments and with descriptive names, and you can also create your own. Now, when you're using segments, and again, this is all covered in the class along with a video on how to set up different segments, which we'll make sure that you have that link as well, and it is in the class. So when you're using segments in Google Analytics, you can compare up to 4 segments at one time by clicking the segment label, or you drag it into an empty field at the top of the report. You can remove segments simply by clicking the gray X in the top corner. When you select the segments to compare, just click Apply at the bottom, and you'll see each of your segments represented in a time graph and a data table below. And once activated, segments will apply to your other reports as well. So how do you customize the segments? Google Analytics offers a number of default segments, but you can also create your own custom segments. And if you download our PDF, you can go straight to the link in here and go into the information on how to do this. And really, this is the real power of segmentation, okay? And really, it's a matter of simply clicking Create New Segment, give the segment a name, choose the criteria. An example would be you can choose a language from the demographics category and filter data to only those who speak French, okay? Now, sequence segments, though, are for more specific filtering. You can create segments that are based on user interactions. Remember, we talked about this in the beginning. You could create a segment that shows users that started in the footwear section of the online store and then moved to the men's hiking boots section. You can define any sequence of user actions, which is wonderful, right? That could be viewing a page and then starting a video, viewing a size chart, and then adding boots to the shopping cart. As you encounter more complex questions about your customers' behaviors, you can use segments to isolate the correct subsets of data and find opportunities to improve your online performance. So some of the suggestions. Make sure you're also familiar with other important analytics tools, okay? One of them would be the multi-channel funnel reports, attribution modeling, secondary dimensions, and these tools are all covered in more detail in the Digital Analytics Fundamentals class, and I provided links to each one of those in your download file. In summary, and yes, this is on your test, these important ones, use different dashboards to monitor site performance. Absolutely use different dashboards. And remember that Google Analytics allows you to copy or customize built-in segments, and you can even create your own as well, which is awesome, okay? Sequence segments will allow you to analyze subsets of sections with a specific sequence of page views, analyze subsets of sessions with specific sequence of page views and event interactions, analyze a subset of users with a specific sequence of page views and event interactions, and analyze a subset of users with specific sequence of traffic resources that bring them to your site across multiple sessions. You can always tell which segment is the most engaged based on bounce rate, time on site, and pages per session. You can create a segment based upon visitors who've seen your promotion page during any session. The way that you would do that is filtered by sessions that include the landing page that exactly matches the page. So, lots of stuff to go over, but that's why you have this homework. So, you are going to watch all the videos under Setting Up Enhanced E-Commerce and Goal Tracking, implement custom campaign perimeters, and all of these links will be on our blog separately as well. And you're going to want to make sure that you've set up your channel groupings correctly, your demographic and interest report, and then complete the assessment for Course Study 1, which we've already gone over the answer. So it's more important, of course, that instead of getting the certificate, that you understand the material. And so for those of you that have not signed up yet, what you're going to do is we'll provide another link to where you sign up as well. Click on the e-commerce analytics from data to decisions. Now, all this information I'll be adding over to our blog. I apologize. I didn't think of this ahead of time to put it in separately, but I will make sure that I put it in there for you. And next week, we're going to go through understanding your customers. Understanding your customers. So with that, it's time to get ready to do your homework. And what I'm going to do is kind of head back this way, and I'm going to set it up on our blog now so you can absolutely start working on that right away. And I'll add all the links. They are in that file if you go to download presentation file. But while I'm here, I might as well just go ahead and add all those additional links as well. Are there any questions right now? I mean, I think it kind of feels a little confusing. We went over a lot of information, but you're going to be going through this information again with your class, with the online class. You'll be able to actually see videos of how it's done. We'll be posting those kind of like on the site as well. And next week, we're going to kind of go through and actually show how to do that. This week, I didn't want to go into the analytics too much because we're covering a lot of new information for a lot of people, and I want to give you guys a chance to really absorb the information and apply it as well. So let me update our blog post with some of the links that you're going to need, and then I'll be updating the video within a couple of hours as well if you want to rewatch it. And give me just a moment, and I'll get those links updated. So links from the replay. And let me just grab up. Okay, let me go ahead and exit out of this so I can just copy and paste. Let's see. Got homework. Boop, 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 boop. And I've almost wanted to put in a little bit of funniness, so I'm having to pull that out of there. Let me just course, it has to do it the way that, it's shown on here instead of just doing text. So we'll get this done here. I want you guys to have these links right away. So once I get these up, you'll be able to get them. I do see a question, so give me just a second, and I promise I will get to your question. And so enhanced commerce. And one of the questions that I'm seeing on here is the Google Analytics account has a notification about missing e-commerce data. Is it because of the Yahoo start with the Yahoo store and the way that it does it? You can go through and you can put in a bit of JavaScripting to make those things kind of all work together. The problem is that it doesn't always pull in all the information that's needed, and Google and or Yahoo will often change some of the things that you're seeing on there and making it a little bit more confusing. So I do recommend either Power My Analytics or the other one is Monetis. I really do like Monetis. They're wonderful for the Yahoo store. And set that up so that you can actually use that information. You can go in and put the code in and copy and paste and, get data about what's happening, from traffic point of view. But the problem is that going in to actually look at the full e-commerce data. Now, if you remember, Monetis is a really good one that I like. It's Monetis Tools, I think, .net, monetis.com. And let's see, monetis.net. And you can try the Monetis tools for free, and it's Monitus. I'll leave that up there for a second. I actually like this one better than many of the other ones, just simply because I've also found that, it doesn't completely drop you. If you wind up not going on with the 30 days, well, at least it used to. It would still work at least to show you a lot of the e-commerce data. You just didn't have as much information as you did before, which is something that, you might want. I'm also going to put all of the suggestions in here. And that way you guys have that as well. And let's see. Oh. And I apologize, it's not copying over and doing it as nicely, so it's kind of having to be done by hand. And normally I would have done this beforehand, and I apologize that I did not think to do that ahead of time. So that is mine. Or as I say, that's my bad. All right, so I'm using an H3 tag there. And for those of you in the HTML class, you know exactly what I'm talking about, which is even better. All right, so I'm also going to put in the suggestions, and that way you've got that as well. And this a heading, and trying to get this up. Okay. So, and let's get these links up. And then I'll also grab that link for the other tool that I just love, where you can just go in and borrow somebody else's dashboard and they've already done the work for you. And there's a couple of them. I'm like, the first couple that I saw on there, as far as for e-commerce, you want to make sure that you hit the e-commerce link. Those looked really, really great. Secondary dimension. Put this up too. And these links all will work from the PSD file as well. I just wanted to give you an easy access to them without having to open up the PDF that is already on the site. Then the last tool that we wanted to go was, this is another one I wanted to put in here for you guys. Try that again. Your own. This was really great, explaining how to do your own segments. And once you start using these, you're going to see how easy they are to use. Okay. Now I've already updated that blog post with all of those links, and make sure that I also have the analytics solution gallery in there as well. And that's now in there as well. Let's make sure it all came up the way that it should. All right, so there's that analytics. I'll put in a little bit of line breaks in between, but I just wanted to get it up there for you guys. So the video will be online shortly, as soon as we get this and it processes and we can upload it, and the links are available now. I highly recommend it. If you haven't signed up for the class on Google itself, I'll make sure that that is on there as well, because I know that we have the information, so I'm going to make sure, and I'll also make sure to put the replay from part 1. I'll put a link on there as well, and you can download the presentation. And let's see. So I'll just keep on adding more stuff to this. And let's see. And that way you guys will have everything that you need. I have, let's see, replay of part 1 set up. Oh, I apologize for my doggies. Replay of part 1, and also the link for registration, although you should be covered. But just in case, and I apologize for the babies. Remember, didn't I just talk about this? How they, like, now they're the ones? All right, that's enough. Thank you. I have a pit bull that thinks that they have to be, like, overprotective when dad's outside because, you know, mom can't take care of herself. God, heaven forbid. Oh my goodness. All right. So I think we've got everything set up the way that it's supposed to be now. I just have to put in a little spacing, add the video, and you guys are going to be good to go. Do you want me to put a link for Monetis, or do you guys have that and you're good to go? I love them. By the way, they also have a really cool thing where if somebody leaves your shopping cart, they can email them and help you to get that sale back, which I love that. That's another thing they do, and it's based upon sales, so it's something that I really like. And I think now you all have the link. Okay, well then you guys are awesome, and I don't have to worry about you. Then I will update this, and let's make sure my changes went in and they're good, and put in my little want it you know. This is where CSS is your best friend, because you can set up whenever you're using these bullets and you want to have more spacing and your blog is being a pain in the booty. You can just have it where you do it yourself. So let's go in and do add rules. ULLI. I need a little bit of more. I need margin, guys. I need a little margin. Thank you. 20 pixels that's perfect. Thank you. Exactly what I was wanting. See, this is the fun of CSS that I love. I love it. Oh, I just got to save it in my file and be done, right? I mean, it's so helpful. The analytics solution gallery I put in there, and I put it in italics, and I put this is awesome, so that way you're able to see it. And hopefully you can see that real good when you get on there. Just let me know if you have any problems with that. Get it fixed for you. So I think I covered everything. Let me know if I missed anything, or if you guys need more information on something, and we'll cover it next week, because next week I want to show you kind of how to do this, but I want you guys to be able to go in there, and I want you guys to be able to play first. Part of owning a store and part of, being an entrepreneur is being able to play with a lot of things that are going to help your business. So I want you to get your hands dirty, and I want you to enjoy the process, and I want you to enjoy, doing all of this good stuff, because I think it's just absolutely awesome. So I think that is going to do it for today. I will just to make sure, because I'll make sure to add a little bit of note to our this is awesome. I'll make sure to mark that down and make sure that it's in red, so that way you can see it a little bit better, and hopefully that makes it a little bit easier. I think that's it for now, guys. I'm so excited by all of this. I hope you are too. I hope you're enjoying the class. You're going to find that you're just going to keep learning more and more and more and more and more, and the more that you learn, the easier it's going to be to not only run your business, but also make really great decisions that are going to help you. So thank you so much for joining today. I enjoyed it as much as you guys, and I'll get that video up as soon as possible. If I find some other links along the way that I think are important, I'll make sure to add those as well. So make sure that you kind of click the refresh button, because sometimes you won't see it unless you click on that refresh button. So make sure that you do that. Thanks again, everybody, so much. And for those of you in our classes, our other classes, I will see you soon, and I can't wait till then. Bye.